Jenny here. So I just got my little people down for the night, well, and I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted, and I'm sure that's how most of you feel at the end of the night. So I am 6 months postpartum. So my youngest of 3 is now 6 months, almost 7 months, and she's just getting so heavy. She's the biggest of all 3. They just keep getting bigger, so no more kids for us. But she's so heavy, she's almost 20 pounds, and just carrying her around all day, you know, it doesn't matter even if you try to switch sides, and we can talk about that later, all the things that you can do to make that situation better. But my back is sore at the end of the day, whether it's a training day or just a day that, you know, I'm playing with the kids, going to the park and things like that. So I wanted to do a few back stretches. So this is gonna be very low intensity. We're gonna keep it just nothing that's going to strain or stress. Just want some nice recovery and a little bit of just slow, deep breathing to try to release a little bit in that back. All right, so we are gonna start here in child's pose. So a few different ways you could do child's pose. I'm gonna walk you through each one and let's just see what feels the best. All right, so you can start here with the knees together, and I'm just gonna come down over my legs and rest the head down on your mat. So my arms are gonna just lay beside me. Everything's just however it goes. So just be completely calm, nice and relaxed with it. I've got my palms up is how most people are gonna typically do that position. So whatever feels best for you. Let's take a few breaths there. All right, so just let the belly really rest and rise and fall on the thighs. Now you can just stay there, continue to let the shoulders roll forward and just kind of release to open in the top of the back. Try to take the tongue away from the roof of the mouth and just completely relax in the jaw, especially if you tend to be one of those kind of stressors where you hold a lot of tension in your jaw. I know that usually that's kind of a sign for me that I need to pay more attention to my stress level when my jaw hurts really bad at night. So just think about that. Try to release there and let go in the face. So you could stay in that position. You could come to a wider position if you want, and more of an extended child's pose. So I'm gonna take the knees out nice and wide. If you're on a mat, about the width of your mat would be good. And then I'm gonna walk the hands out, allowing the belly, so this one's also a great one if you're pregnant, allowing the belly to come down in between the legs. So there's plenty of space there. So this one's gonna open in the hips a little bit more and let the chest come all the way down. So you may not touch the floor like this with your chest. You may still be up a bit, and that's fine. It's all just about flexibility. All right, so wherever you go is perfectly fine as long as you're listening to your body. All right, so I'm just gonna walk my fingertips out, and then I'm gonna rest on one cheek. If you can rest on the forehead, that's fine. I would just be resting on like my face. That's not so good. And just give me those nice deep breaths. You may like to walk the fingertips out and kind of experience that lengthening under the arms, but you may not. That may just be too much for you right now, and that's okay. Letting the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Walk your hands back, coming up. Now I want you to just come over onto your hips. So I'm gonna roll over and come down all the way onto my back. So you may wanna slowly roll down, holding on the back of your knees. That would be perfectly fine. All right, and then all I'm gonna do is do a nice leg drop to the side. All right, so I'm just gonna stay right here and I'm gonna let my legs fall over to the side. So this would be our level one. This is a great place to start, just nice and loose, just a little twist. Of course, if you have any herniated bulging discs, we are not twisting unless your doctor has recommended it. So obviously you need to speak with your doctor before doing anything if you have any kind of back issues, just such a sensitive area. And again, this twist should feel fine during pregnancy. I personally loved doing some back stretches, but your range of mobility is going to change throughout that pregnancy. And coming up, and we're going to go to the other side. So I'm just going to drop those knees down, let the hips fall. Now, the closer that I bring my knees up towards my chest and my shoulders, the deeper the stretch is going to get. All right, so if you don't want as much, keep them down here a little further away like you did the first time. If you want a little bit more, we can bring those legs up a little bit closer. And you can just close the eyes here. You can keep the hands on the body. You could drop them down to the side, whatever feels best for you. Now we're going to bring those legs back to the middle, and this time we're going to take this up a little bit more. Now again, if that last stretch felt really good for you and that's where you want to stay there by all means. All right, so if you want a little bit more, I'm going to cross my legs over, bringing them a little bit closer to the body. So I just brought the foot in, and then I'm going to let them fall over and across. Now I'm going to focus a little bit more on keeping my shoulder down and looking across the body. So I've got my legs twisting to the left. I'm going to look over to the right. Trying to keep this right shoulder down as the right hip is lifted in this twist. Now notice that my leg is not touching the floor. That's fine. It doesn't have to be all the way over. That flexibility may not be there. That is definitely not a must. That has to happen in this stretch. And just close the eyes, take those nice deep breaths. Working on releasing some of that tension. And coming up, so you may want to use your hand, your hand underneath the leg to kind of help up on that. Perfectly fine. All right, and then I'm going to cross the other leg over and just come down onto the other side. So notice when I come all the way over, my legs down, my shoulder comes up. So when I bring this shoulder back and flatten out on this side, my legs may lift up off the mat. And again, perfectly fine. You're working at your own level, doing whatever feels best for your body. And again, you can help that leg coming back up. And now I'm just gonna find a better spot here. I'm just gonna come on to my back and bring the knees into the chest. Let them fall open. So kind of like when we did that beginning stretch. I'm sorry, not the first one, but the extended child's pose where we had the knees wide and we kind of came down in between them. So I'm just gonna open right there. And just hold it. Hold behind the bend in your knees and roll up. If that does not serve you well, I am perfectly fine with that. I want you to roll over onto your side, bring that hand in the front for support, and push yourself up. So anytime that your back is sensitive or really, really even just tired at the end of the day, getting up in that manner, rolling to the side and pushing up, it's just gonna really protect that back, especially if the core is tired or weak, maybe even if it's been something like after pregnancy. You know, we're still building all of that back up. So don't expect that you always have to be able to just completely roll yourself up. It is totally fine to give that back a little break and roll to the side, okay? So I'm just gonna come into a comfortable seated position here. And we're just gonna do a little reach to the side. So I'm gonna inhale up and just come over, exhale to the side. So I'm just getting a little stretch down the sides of the back now instead of just down the middle and the top. You can let that head kind of fall down, looking down and away. So I can use this hand here for support, or I can relax that hand and just kind of stretch into it a little more. And up and over to the other side. Oh, pay attention to my space here. You can tell I haven't been out here in a while. But it is spring. It is time to start getting on the patio. I don't know about you guys, but that always makes me just feel a little bit lighter as far as stress goes. Being able to be outside more, be in the sun, play with the kids, instead of being inside all the time. Bring it up. And just give me a little inhale up. One of my favorite things to do to release tension is to sigh this out. And give me one more. And out. Oh, very nice, guys. Hopefully that kind of easy and quick little stretch session there was good for you. And you can always come back to this, you know, no matter how much energy you have. As you can see, hold those stretches longer if you really had a tough day, and maybe you go through them a little bit quicker or do them in bed or something like that if you have a little less time, or you just need take a little edge off. All right, have a great night, guys. Bye.